tax breaks, access to finance, COVID, cash. These are just some of the benefits of formalizing your business. And actually, it's not as difficult as you may think. I'm Kalila Reynolds, and this is Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with Exim Bank's Business Advisory Service. Keep watching to learn more. I'm joined by Orwell Shaw. He's the director of the MSME division at the Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, MICAF. Hi, Orwell.
Hi, Kalila. How are you doing this morning?
I'm not bad. Are you working from home? You don't look like you're working from home.
No, I'm in the office actually.
Okay, and I know different companies have different policies.
Right.
But we're talking today about formalizing your business, especially as an MSME. You may have been around some businesses for several years and never been formal. What is meant when we refer to formalizing the business anyway?
Yes, so formalization in the context of MSME indicates some level of registration with some public authority or some association for which you may be a participant of. So, for example, registration in the formal sense could mean that you are registered with the Companies Association of Jamaica as a business, you know, with a name. You may also be a farmer, and you are part of the farming, the Jamaica Association of Farmers, or the Jamaica Agricultural Society, and you register with them, and you also register with the Rural Agricultural Development Agency. So that could mean that you are moving towards formalizing your operation. Mm-hmm. And in that context, it means that you register, you indicate where you operate, you indicate what you do, you may indicate how many persons you employ, and at some point you may indicate what you have to sell. Say you're a farmer. Mm-hmm. You may also be a member of the Hairdressers Association of Jamaica.
Hold on, before you move on to hairdressers, because many people don't realize that farming is actually a business. So when you talk about small businesses, you're not really, not everybody's thinking about farmers, but farming is actually a business.
A business,
it's a business. For sale, yeah.
Right.
So you need to be registered as a farmer too, and register as a business or a company.
Exactly.
All right. So you're moving on to hairdressers.
So you may run a small, a 40-acre property, and you are producing peppers. You're a small business because you may be generating sales of less than $15 million and employ less than 5 persons. But you're also registered with the Rural Agricultural Development, rather for benefits, because then, you know, once you're a farmer, you get certain government assistance.
Mm-hmm. So what about other types of businesses? You were mentioning hairdressers earlier.
Right. So hairdressers and the barbers, they are also businesses. They may be micro businesses because they may employ just 1 or 2 persons, and you know, they generate sales of less than $15 million, which by definition would classify them as micro businesses. Right. So you have to register with your local municipality to get a license to operate as a barber or as a hairdresser.
So
that means.
Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
And that means that you're moving towards formalization.
Mm. So who do you register with?
In the case of getting a license, you will have to register with the local municipality in your parish for that. And also, if you are going to establish a business, you will have to register with the Companies Office of Jamaica, which is also an agency of MICAF, our ministry.
Okay. Now tell me, what are some of the benefits, the advantages of actually registering, doing this? Because I can tell you a big reason a lot of businesses don't register is to avoid taxes.
Yes, but registration will far outweigh the benefits of taxation, because to a large extent, government is not seeking your participation to be part of the formal economy because they want to tax you.
No?
Part, part of the,
You
to
sure
a
about
large extent,
that?
well, no, to a large extent, of course, they want to have data on you to get a measure of the contribution that you make to economic growth and development, but not necessarily for taxation purposes. Because, part of the reason why we are not having the quality data that we want on the MSME sector is for the very same reason that they are afraid to come forward to participate in the formal economy because they feel there's this perception that the government is about to tax them. But that's
Hmm.
not all. It is not the primary reason. What we want to do is to capture data on the businesses in Jamaica, whether they are formal or informal.
Hmm.
So
And we can
come
talk a
back
bit more
to,
about we can talk a bit more about taxation in a few, because I know there have been some measures to ease the tax burden on MSMEs, particularly in the past budget. But give me now
right,
some of the benefits of formalization. You
right.
say the benefits outweigh the taxation. Tell me how.
Absolutely, because if you are formal, there is a higher propensity for you to be competitive and internationalize your operation by forging collaboration with local and overseas partners to expand your business. Most of the partners that are available where you can match your business with are requiring that you formalize they want to see something about you in a formal way before they can engage in business with you. And by formalizing that arrangement, you stand to benefit significantly from expanding your business and your operation, and also to receive low cost capital to benefit from some kind of assistance through multilateral and bilateral agencies, because they do offer financing and other support to MSMEs, but they have to register their operation. In other words, they have to formalize their operations.
Mm.
Also,
Tell me some of the types
you
of,
can
yeah. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead, Oral.
you can also benefit from training interventions. You can also benefit from incubation services if you are formal. You can also benefit from government assistance. Some of the ones that the government are offering now, there is a tax credit of $375,000.
Hmm.
There is a small business grant of $100,000. But of course, you have to show some form of registration, whether or not that is with the RADA, the Rural Agricultural Development Agency, the Jamaica Association, the JAS, or the Hairdressers Association of Jamaica, for you to benefit from those offerings.
Yeah, so those were some of the ones that I was just about to ask you about. So you have some
Right.
specific programs that are offered. You can get, you said, COVID money under the government's CARE program. You can get tax relief.
Right.
Tell me about the tax relief that's offered to MSMEs.
Right. So, as part of the process of getting people, from moving from informality to formality, we had made some recommendations to the Ministry of Finance in terms of some of the propositions that they could consider to increase the participation rate into the formal sector. One of them was the abolishment of the minimum business tax, which is a measure that was implemented last year. And this is the total abolishment of the minimum tax of $60,000 if you're a registered entity to pay. So that has been abolished, and that has been abolished since last year. The government this year has also put forward a tax credit of $375,000 that MSMEs can utilize, can benefit from if they are registered. What that means is that if you pay taxes to the government because you're a registered business and because you generate income of over $10 million, that $375,000 can be used to offset taxes that you may pay over to the government.
Mm.
So it is a benefit. Remember that MSMEs only pay taxes for over $10 million in turnover. Currently, they don't pay for under up to $10 million.
So there's a threshold.
So there is a threshold.
Okay. All right. So
And that's significant, eh?
yes, it
For
is
some
actually.
businesses.
It,
Right.
it's quite significant. So you've outlined some of the benefits of formalizing.
Formalization.
You've told us why it's important. You've told us what formalizing is. Now, if anybody's watching this and they're now convinced, okay, wow, this sounds good, I need to formalize. How do they do it though? Because one of the complaints over the years has been that there's so much bureaucracy involved in the process here in Jamaica. It's just too difficult to formalize. So lots of people just can't bother.
Well, Kalila, since 2010 and up to 2017, the government has made the reformation of the business environment a major priority to increase the formalization of businesses. Over 27 reform measures have been implemented over that period with a view to increasing the participation rate of businesses into the formal sector. And these ranges from making it much easier using electronic means for registration, making filing of taxes easier, making the form simpler for registering with the company's office. I mean, the form was like about 10 pages. It is far less than that now. It may be a 2 or a 3-page form that you'd have to complete for that process. The government has also moved towards efficiency measures in place where you can actually do your registration online rather than coming into the company's office to do that process. So there are several measures that have been implemented to make it easier and far more efficient to do that registration process. So there is no need to have this pushback that the process is very bureaucratic and there are many steps in the process. This has been significantly reduced over the last couple of years to facilitate the involvement of more businesses into the formal sector.
And I can tell the viewers that it's completely online. At least registering the business name is online. You can do it through the Companies Office of Jamaica website. Just type that in Google. It will pop right up.
Yes.
And you can register your business name for free for 30 days. And you have that 30-day process, that 30-day time period to get the filing of the documents completed and so on while you have the business name registered. It's really not that difficult of a process. I've been going through it myself, Oral.
Yes. And if you wish, I can send you, all the 27 measures that the government would have implemented over the last couple of years to make it easier for people to make the registration process more efficient and effective. So there is no need for people not want to register their business. So when you look at it overall, based on what we are discussing, the benefits far outweigh whatever taxes you may pay, because remember again, Khalil, as we had said earlier, you don't pay taxes up to $10 million in sales, right? So if you are a small farmer and you currently operate a farm with 5 or 6 acres, which is what most of the small farmers will do, and you do a cash crop, say planting 4 acres of that in peppers, another 4 acres in Irish potato, and say another 2 acres in sweet potato. And say that crop has a turnaround time of say 4 or 5 months for reaping. And I just spoke with a small farmer recently, and he was just telling me the kind of returns he generates for a typical farm size of that of 10 acres. And you generate, I think he says about $1.7 million in sales from that 10 acre. Four in peppers, four in sweet potato, and another four in Irish potato, and another two in sweet potato. And you do that, well, you can only do that for about 2 or 3 times for the year, right? Given the turns, right?
Mm-hmm.
That is equivalent to less than $5 million in sales, and you're not taxed, even if you're registered. But yet you can benefit from a lot of government assistance,
Mm.
and that's just a 10 acre. Now, if you multiply that by 10 to 20 acres, you'd be still less than the $10 million threshold in terms of sales.
I see.
You see where I'm going? So
Yeah,
there are
absolutely.
significant benefits in formalization. And remember now, say you move over into a 40-acre property, and you do say 40 acres of that in peppers, and you are going to sell all of that pepper to Grace Kennedy, crushed, right, for their processing. You may very well generate $14 million in sales from that, and that still defines you as a small business. But how much you think you're going to pay in taxes from that? Remember, 10 million of that would be tax free. So
Mm-hmm.
all you'd be paying is just about $4 million in
You're gonna
taxes.
be paying
But
just for the
what
balance.
benefit are you going to get from that? The government give you free pesticides. They give you technical support through these guys who go out and look at your farms and to make sure that your farming operations are operating efficiently and effectively, right? They give you irrigation services free, yes.
Mm-hmm.
They give you free fertilizers. They give you technical support and assistance as well. When you monetize these, it is far more than what you would pay as a percentage of the extra $4 million above and beyond the $10 million that you have
Interesting.
generated in
And that's
sales.
only in the agriculture industry, because in
And
other
that's just in
industries
the
there are other
agricultural
things.
sector.
There are other
Right.
incentives in
So
other
so if
industries.
you look at all the sectors across, and this could be services where you may be offering computer services, IT services, or consulting services, is the same. And you can benefit from a range of assistance through the Development Bank of Jamaica, where you can get low cost loans, right? Through the Exim Bank
Through Exim
and
Bank,
other,
yes.
right? And also importantly, through the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, which is also another agency of MICAF that is involved in capacity building and assisting your operation to scale from micro to small to medium enterprise, and also assist you with your product design, business plan development, product preparation, and also collaboration with international buyers, and also put you on to financiers where you can see joint venture arrangements through joint venture capitalists, where you can go and partner with overseas firms who may be buying your products and selling them online. Most of our MSMEs have products on Amazon, and
Wow.
eBay.
Really?
Currently, we have a program working with the
Didn't know that.
OAS and a major company overseas, where we are trying to internationalize over 25,000 MSMEs with it by 2022. And this is really to bring MSMEs to sell their products online. And these are not registered MSMEs, it could be informal as well. So we're just trying to internationalize their operations through this means.
You know, Oral, I'm listening to you and I'm thinking, if you are content with being small, can stay in your small corner. But if you really want to grow your business, if you want to take it to the next level, people really ought to be reaching out to you there at the ministry, reaching out to these agencies of the government and also importantly, formalizing that business. Because if you don't formalize, you never get to take your business to the next level.
Can't scale up.
You can't scale up, exactly.
Challenging to scale up. Right. So you're absolutely right about that. Right. I mean, we are now contemplating looking at providing low cost loans to MSMEs, something less than 5%. But for you to access that kind of affordable financing mechanism, you have to formalize your operations, and you have to operate in the real sector. We're not talking about people who go to Brazil and buy Brazilian euro and come back and sell it. We are talking about businesses that are involved in productive activities. That's the kind of people that can drive economic growth and development.
Wonderful.
So these are some of the things that can come as a result of formalization, and we are encourage our MSMEs to move. They are evidence that they are moving,
It's a really important message there, Oral. It's a really important message that we
Yes.
can't emphasize enough. Yeah.
When you look at it, the starting just recently in 2018 published their report on the Jamaica Survey of Establishments. These are businesses, and they have done a sample of approximately 38,000 businesses right across Jamaica, really the urban centers. And we are very, very enlightening and very delighted that from that survey, which is still a small survey, but it is representative of what we feel the small business sector is in Jamaica. 82% of those businesses have registered with the company's Office of Jamaica. 82% of them, of the 36,000 that were interviewed in that survey.
That must be a huge jump.
It's a move in the right direction.
I recall seeing previous surveys where it's a very small amount, something like 30% that had registered. So that's really great.
Precisely. Right. So that sample alone is coming out with 82%. So that's a move in the right direction. And people are listening to the cause for formalization and the benefits that they can derive from being formalized.
Thanks for talking to me, Oral. Appreciate it.
Thanks very much for listening, Khalil, and get the message out to our MSMEs.
All right, good stuff.
Thank you. Through your very good program.
All right, good. That's it for this episode of Money Moves JA, brought to you in partnership with Exim Bank's Business Advisory Service. Check out their website, eximbankja.com. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel, and share with a friend. Stay safe.